Hello, Mindset Tribe. Welcome back. Okay, so today we will be talking on a subject I call creating your own lane. You see, this world that we live, there are times where people will give you 1,000,000 reasons why you're not suitable for that position, why you're not suitable to be called that person, why you're not suitable to be here, not suitable to be there. They judge you from the way you look. They judge your wallet. They judge, in fact, everything about you, your education. They just continue to judge you and judge you and judge you. Sometimes, you hear why people say, thank God man is not God. If not, you won't get anything from this world. Now, creating your own lane, it's important to understand that you were not created to walk on the lane that was created for other people. You were created, okay, to pave your own lane, okay? Oprah Winfrey said something that when the world refuses to give you a chair on the table, you go with your own chair. Today, we are looking at Funke Akindele as our case study. Sometimes people will reject you so much to a point where you will begin to drive, as in that level of rejection will begin to drive you to your place of greatness. That was what happened to Funke Akindele, and that is what we'll be talking about today. Creating your own lane means taking full ownership of your path when the world refuses to give you a seat at the table. It's about, no longer waiting for opportunities, but building them from the ground up, okay? It's about self-initiative, taking the bold step to start even when no one believes in you, even when the doors are closed, even when you are laughed at, mocked, or told you are not good enough. Creating your own lane is not rebellion for the sake of it. It's power, it's clarity, it's rising from rejection and choosing to write your own story instead of waiting for someone else to write it for you, okay? One person, okay, who exemplarized this principle is Funke Akindele. Today, Funke is a household name in Nigeria and across Africa. An award-winning actress, a movie producer, a businesswoman, and one of the highest grossing filmmaker in Nollywood history. But that's not where her story began, and definitely not what her journey always looked like, okay? Let's talk about the depth she came from, okay, the pain and the hard truth that shaped her. Because behind the confident smile and celebrity status is a woman who faced enough pain and disappointment to stop anyone in their track. Funke Akindele rose to fame through the TV show I Need to Know. In the late 90s, I don't know if you watched it, but she truly hit mainstream success with her self-produced film Jennifer in 2008. What many people don't know is that Jennifer came from a place of rejection. At the time, she was being typecast, okay? She was not considered fit for lead roles by the mainstream Nollywood industry. They saw her as too local, not glamorous enough, and she didn't fit into the polished mold that was being promoted then. She was told repeatedly that she would not go far. Did you hear that? But beyond that professional rejection, her personal life was falling apart. In 2012, she got married, and shortly after the marriage crashed, under heavy public scrutiny, the media tore her apart. There were allegations, rumor, and, ridicule. It was not just a divorce. It was a very public, one, okay? Everyone had something to say. Everyone laughed. And as if that was not enough, later in her life, she would also face legal issues. Remember the COVID-19 lockdown drama? Again, headlines, judgment, and condemnation all over the place. Everybody, all over the place. At several points in her life, Funke Akindele could have disappeared. She could have feathered into silence, but what did she do? She created her own lane. Mindset Tribe, welcome back to the Mindset Mentor Podcast with Anosan. I am your host. Here, we don't just talk motivation, we uncover strategies from real life warriors. We look beyond the filtered photos and applause to see what it really takes to rise. Today, we are talking about the power of self-initiative, how to create your own lane and own it, okay? Now, let's be clear. When the industry boxed Funke out, she didn't wait for validation. She built her own platform. She funded and produced Jennifer, a project the industry didn't believe in. It became a cult classic. Then she went further and launched Jennifer's Diary, which became one of the most successful TV series in Nigeria. No media house gave her a platform. She created her own. No network handed her success. She worked for it against all odds. You were here, you saw her, you saw the beginning and how she created everything. And it wasn't just about talent. It was her mindset. It was her refusal to wait for permission to shine. That's the power of self-initiative. Okay? Now, let's talk about 5 practical strategies that can help you create your own lane no matter what field you are in, whether it's career, business, creativity, or personal development. These principles apply, okay? First, accept rejection as redirection. Don't cry over it. Rejection is not the end. It is a signal that it's time to go your own way. Funke Akindele didn't keep auditioning endlessly for roles she wasn't going to get. She took the no, turned it around, and built a platform that made the same industry that rejected her come begging for, a seat at her table. When you face a closed door, don't keep knocking endlessly. Step back and ask, what can I be with my own hands? That's where your lane begins. Number 2. Start with what you have, not what you lack. You don't need millions to begin. You need vision, discipline, and execution. Funke's first production weren't glamorous. She used what she had, her creativity, her knowledge of street culture, and her understanding of human behavior. What do you have in your hands right now? A skill, a phone, time, a voice? Start with that. You build a lane by moving forward, not by waiting for the ideal condition. Point number 3, okay? Develop a brand that reflects your truth. Funke's brand was not fake, glamour, or perfection. It was raw, real, and relatable. That's what people connected with. When you are creating your lane, don't try to copy someone else's style. Build your identity around who you are. People will connect more deeply with your authenticity than with, borrowed ideas. Your own uniqueness, that's your lane. Point number 4, embrace consistency. Over perfection. You don't need to be perfect. You need to show up. Every week, Funke kept pushing out episodes of Jennifer's Diary. She didn't let perfectionism paralyze her. She stayed visible, stayed relevant, and stayed consistent. If you are starting something, whether it's a blog, a YouTube channel, a fashion brand, or a tech idea, just keep showing up. You can improve along the way, but you can win. You can't win if you don't start. Point number 5. Keep evolving. Don't settle. Funke didn't stop at Jennifer's. She kept growing. She went into filmmaking, business, and even politics. The key to sustaining your lane is to keep widening it. Keep learning, keep reinventing. Your first success is not your last. Once you build a lane, keep paving it, keep expanding, keep leveling up, okay? Mindset Tribe. Yes, creating your own lane doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means you stop being, dependent on external approval. It means you become the driver of your destiny. That's how Funke Akindele turned ridicule into respect, pain into power, and rejection into redirection. If you are listening to this today and you have been waiting for someone to pick you, validate you, or open a door for you, this is your moment to stop stop waiting. Create, begin, use what you have. Speak up, build something. The road may be lonely at first, but your lane is yours. No traffic, no limits. Now, you are listening to the Mindset Mentor Podcast with Anusong. If you're seeing this face for the first time, I am Dr. Anusong Emmanuel Bukish. I love you. If you think this teachings today or this teaching has brought you any kind of value, even chinkini value, please subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, and if I'm not asking for too much, Biko, help me share. I love you guys, Mindset Tribe. Mwah.